Hello guys, welcome to another photography video. Right, here is the 5D Mark II camera, and I've got a 24-70 f4 IS macro lens. And this is a pretty good setup if you want to go out there and do weddings. And this is quite cheap really, because we got the Mark II, which you can probably pick up between £400 and £500, which is significantly cheaper than Mark III and the Mark IV. And then obviously it's not a 2.8 lens this, but you can do a wedding with this setup. And I think this is all you really need, really. And you got the advantage of full frame, giving you, that ability to capture images in low light. Sure, having an aperture 2.8, such as the 24-70, unfortunately there's no image stabilization. That's the downside. But if you're in a well lit environment, this is a good setup to get. And at the moment, I think Canon are doing a rebate on this 24-70 lens, where you get £165 back. So it's £700 outright, but you get £165 back, making it around 530 quid, something like that. So basically, this is £1,000. The camera is used second hand, but it is in good condition. I always advise guys to go out there, if you're going to get a camera, and look at eBay, look at Amazon, but try and get you something that's been used by an enthusiast rather than a professional. Professional beats up their equipment and uses it heavily. An amateur or light enthusiast won't have used it much, so it is a good thing to use for a wedding or portraits. And I think this setup is probably the cheapest way to get full frame and do weddings at a professional level. What's unique about the 5D Mark II is it has all the pro options, like the 5D Mark III and 5D Mark IV. It doesn't have the high-end video options, obviously, as no 4K, but it does have 180p at 30 frames, which is good enough. And to be honest, when I did video on this and I compare it to the crop sensor cameras, I'm quite surprised when I did the video, because I don't know if you want to check out the other video where I basically compared fake SD cards. I actually used the video option on this for the first time to do the close-ups with this macro lens. So check that out. It'll show you how clean the shot was using video with this lens. And I was really impressed with its capability of doing, video in low light, because the lighting in this room isn't very good. And it was really impressive and very clean. That's the difference I want to say. You can use a camcorder that gives you video like you're watching here, but the ISO capabilities in low light isn't very good, because I can actually see in the actual LCD that some of the video is like shaking, or I can see some grain. That's because it's not a very good camcorder. It's not the best. However, when I did the same sort of thing on this, it was really clean, very solid, and it's a good camera. And coupled with this lens, I think if you want to get a second-hand camera and a new lens, because the one thing that surprises me is on eBay you can buy lenses for 3/4 of the price of what a new one costs. And to me, if you're going to buy a lens second-hand, it has to be 50% of the price of a new one. But if you buy a lens on eBay, a Canon one, it does seem to me that you could pick up this lens that I have seen for about £500 second hand. And it's like, with the Canon rebate of £165 on this £700 lens, it's more or less the same price, a used versus new. Don't know about you guys, but I'm going to get a new lens if I can get one. Camera wise, I don't think getting second hand cameras is an issue really, because over time they either need the shutter replacing or the camera needs replacing. Most people upgrade, such as the I've got the 7D, and most people have upgraded to the 7D Mark II. So I just wanted to talk about this camera a little bit to say it gives you clean images. I really love the 5D cameras because they are so clean and sharp. I used the original 5D in the film days with eye detection focus, which, to be honest, sadly is something not used anymore. I don't know why, because it was a fantastic focusing method where you just looked at the actual center, autofocus point, or the right or the left or the lower one or the center, and you just looked at the focus point and it focused. To me, that was a fantastic thing. I don't know why Canon's dropped it, because that was probably the best autofocus system I've ever seen. Even in today's standards, I still wish I still had that focus, which was eye detection focus, if you're wondering. So, as for battery grips, make sure you get a genuine one, because there are some fakes out there. I would probably recommend you don't go for the third-party ones that don't fit properly and don't have the same feel as the camera. Because you see, with Canon, is they mould the battery grip the same as the camera body, so it feels the same. It's part of the same camera. It feels the same unit. So always get the actual original one that allows you to put the batteries in. And this is a fantastic camera. Now, the actual batteries that this takes is just the same as the 5D Mark III, Mark IV, 7D and the 80D and 70D, which is the LPE6 battery, which is probably one of the best batteries out there. Yes, you could get a Sony mirrorless camera, yes, you could get a Lumix Panasonic, but their batteries are never going to be this good, because you can shoot all day on one of these. Or if you want to do video all day, you probably need 2. Personally, I've got about 10 of them, because you might want to consider this. If you've got quite a few cameras, try and get different cameras but they use the same battery. It's so helpful to be able to use the same battery in any camera. But I just wanted to do this little video to talk about the 5D Mark II. While it's an aging camera, it is a fantastic camera to buy, and at the moment I think to get into full frame, even if you compare the 6D, I still think the 5D Mark II is still relevant, still usable. It does use a compact flash rather than an SD card. It only has the one slot for memory cards, unfortunately. But I do think, and this is my opinion, but I don't know if you guys out there feel the same, but storage on SD cards versus compact flash, I think compact flash is a better storage method. It's just, I don't know, it just feels more substantial, more reliable, less likely to fail. Yes, some people will say SD cards can fail the same as compact flash, and it's true. But I've never had a compact flash card fail on me, but I've had SD cards fail on me. So, if you've got an option, you might prefer this over the 6D, because the 6D just takes SD card and this takes compact flash, which you might prefer. You can always put a compact flash adapter in that allows you to slot in an SD card into the adapter. I do have one of those, and while it's not great performance, it is a workaround if you need it to be as a temporary measure. But I would never recommend using adapters in your cameras, guys. They just don't seem to work properly on a regular basis, and you might find some images getting corrupted if you're doing a lot of pictures, a lot of video, because they're not designed, and I think they overheat quickly. So get genuine cards if you can and use those. So thank you and have a nice day.